Good afternoon, everyone. We'd like to welcome Collin Morikawa into the Media Center here at AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Collin, you're making your first start here at Pebble Beach since the 2019 U.S. Open and first time playing this tournament. Can you give us a few comments heading into the week?
I'm excited. We flew up Sunday, and I actually forgot how nice this piece of land is in the entire world. It's gorgeous, and we are very lucky to be here. It's great to be back kind of, in Northern California again. And look, just obviously kind of beginning of the season and want to get off to a good start. Didn't play well last week, but, it's like I said, it's the early part, and the game's, feeling good. So just got to find fairways, and hopefully we can put together 4 good rounds. And
this is just your third start of the season. Can you talk a little bit about your goals heading into the year?
Just win multiple times. I think at the end of the day, no matter, if you miss cuts, obviously the tough times, if you can look back and say that you've won tournaments and, you accomplish beating the rest of the field, it's the best feeling. And that sometimes can put you over the top and just kind of give you the confidence boost. So it's nice to finish off last year with a win in Japan. So hopefully that can kind of push me to get this beginning start of the season off to a little better start.
Great. Thank you so much. We'll open it up for questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand and we'll get you a microphone. Let's start with Doug Ferguson.
When you graduated college and turned pro, what was your confidence level like in terms of being able to do what you do out here? And did it take winning to change that?
It didn't take winning. I believed early on when I turned pro that I fully could do it. And I think the first week when I played RBC, the week before this here, the U.S. Open here, that gave me the full confidence because I didn't feel like I played well. And I think I finished T14 and ho-hum. It's amazing when I look back 4 years ago or almost 5 years ago and realize I had a bad day and I was making all these cuts and playing well, and now I'm almost overthinking things, and that's kind of who I am, and that's kind of my nature to overthink things and just go down these deep rabbit holes of doing too much. And back then it was really simple. It was, let's see how good my game is, and I believe that it's good enough, and I still believe that to this day. I just got to realize that golf's simple. Golf you can make really simple, and that's what I did back then. So it was nice to make this cut. I'll never forget my parents and I, we all had dinner and Kat, and I think we sat at dinner for probably 3 hours. I think they wanted to kick us out of the restaurant, but we were sweating the cut here at the U.S. Open, so it was kind of nice to make the cut. And, I don't know what I finished that week, but it was just nice to make your first kind of major cut and go on from there.
You're supposed to get better with age and better with experience. You almost make it sound like golf's easier when you're younger.
I've learned a lot. I don't take away the experience and the learning that I've had over the past handful of years, but there's a simplicity to being young, kind of being not immature, but just, coming out with a fresh set of eyes. People talk about scar tissue, people talk about this and that, but there's something simple about coming out on tour and just everything's new to you. You're taking it in, and these weeks, they become so repetitive that sometimes, you get stuck in this kind of trap of, all right, here's a Monday. This is what I do on Mondays. This is what I do on Tuesday. And here we are in the Pro-Am. And I think I just have to freshen things up. I've got to go to what I did in the past of just playing golf and forgetting about sitting on the range. And I did that yesterday, and I woke up this morning, and I was like, what am I doing? Just because the range looks good doesn't mean you can play golf well on the golf course. So I'm going to change things up starting now.
Back to Alex.
Collin, there seems to be some indication that the tour might have a deal with one of these investors, the SSG guys. Just wondering, from a player standpoint, does it matter to you if you do or don't get a deal done, and how much will that change your life if a deal does get done or not done?
I don't know if it changes my life. I haven't given it much thought. I've seen over the past, let's call it 24 hours, if a deal gets done and all this stuff. I don't know what that entails and what that changes for us, say, in 2025, right? What our schedules look like, how many players are here, what tournaments we're going to be playing. It does, but I think at the end of the day, if you play well and I continue to go on the path that I want to see myself at, you're going to be playing the best tournaments. You're going to be at all these tournaments, and you don't worry about any of that stuff. I think, there's so much talk of seeing the best players in the world play against each other, and at the end of the day, that's where you want to be. You want to be playing against the best as much as you can, and see how that kind of plays out. So I don't really know what the main bullet points are, right, of what comes out of it and how does that benefit the players. I think we have a lot of players, on the board and other people on the pack and that are given a lot of time and a lot of effort into hoping, and not just the players, but the people on the board and everyone else on the tour that are trying to make this as good as possible. So, look, we've been, when I first turned pro, we were stuck in such a way that no one really questioned, or not too many people questioned it. We kind of just ho-hum, everything was good, and we don't know if it's going to be better for us or going to be worse, but all we can do is try and just move forward and learn from, is this better, is this not, and keep making adjustments.
One last thing, if you didn't see a purse increase for the next 10 years, would that concern you?
From the purses now or the purses that we had in?
No, purses now.
I mean, yeah, if inflation goes up really high, I'll be worried.
Well, say we stay at 2%, like the Fed wants.
Oh, that never happens. I mean, look, we're playing for a lot of money this week. I don't know what the final purse is or what the winner makes, but there's a lot of money up for grabs, and you can make a very great living. I mean, I think so many, there's a bunch of guys that made over $10 million on the course last year, and a lot of guys that made over $5 million on the course. Like, that's a lot of money. The way sports are going right now, they're on the uphill, they're on the climb, right? And then you look at the way, football is obviously the biggest. And I think at the end of the day, if we keep getting more eyeballs on golf, and that's the biggest hurdle that we have to accomplish, how do we get more eyeballs on golf? I would hope to expect that more money's pushed into this. But at this point right now where we're at, it's a lot of money that we're playing for, and I'm very thankful to be doing that. But I also see that we need more people to be interested in golf. We need to make golf more intriguing to the viewers. How do we make broadcasting more approachable? How do we see more golf shots at the end of the day, right? I mean, I turn on golf, on a Thursday if I play early, and I turn it on and I see 3 golf shots, and I question why. The reason why other sports people pay attention is because you can see more, you can probably bet more. People like betting when you can watch it live, not watch it on Shot Tracer.
Any additional questions? Oh, right here in front.
Collin, you have kind of a NorCal connection. Cal win up at Harding Park. How sweet would it be to win here at Pebble?
It'd be amazing. It's one of those courses that you want to check off the kind of the list for when you do retire at some point later on in life, and knowing that I do have a connection to California, Northern California, this kind of area. It's one that I'd love to win. I realize I haven't played here in the past, and that's just kind of scheduling wise, format wise, all this stuff. But I'm here. I'd love to check this off the box, and there's only a handful of places around on our schedule that when I look back, I want to say that I won, and this is definitely one of them.
We'll go back to Doug Ferguson.
Just to mix it up, Collin, do you consider yourself a good loser? And if so, how did you learn to not make it so personal?
I'm not a great loser, but in golf you have to accept it, right? But I do love winning. What do you mean by not making it personal? Just being angry at what? Yeah, golf's great because it all comes on you. Like I'll never blame anything on JJ, right? I'll never blame it on him because at the end of the day, like I'm the one to say I'm going to hit this shot, and I'm the one that's actually moving my arms and my body to hit this shot. So you just got to accept it. There's so much. What's the word I'm looking for? Like there's so much accountability on yourself that if you start blaming other people and you say, oh man, this person sucks because they beat me or they did this, like, I think that just pushes me to be better. And how do I beat that person another time? You know, I haven't stepped foot yet where I've stepped out here on tour and been like, man, I can't beat this person. And the day I do, that's when I really know that it's just, I got to change something up. I got to do something else. But I haven't hit that. And I hope I don't hit that. And that's what's great is that every week, even after a miscut, I feel like I have what it takes to come out here and win. And if you get beat and you're playing really good, then it is what it is. But I haven't found that yet to where, you know, on those good weeks, I'm getting lapped, you know, and just being like, wow, like I gotta go figure it out. So that's what's exciting. That's what, you know, pushes me out here every week.
On those very things that you just touched on, is there any part of you that feels bad for the guys who had to face Tiger when he was 24, 25 years old?
Yeah. I wish I saw it. Those guys always say, oh yeah, sure you do, you know, and you really don't. But that's part of it. I mean, look, those guys, sometimes you just hit a wall. Sometimes you just got that one person that you just has your number. I mean, whether it's in team sports or golf, and that you just, I mean, I remember growing up, and there's, you know, you always think of the guy that's 2-3 years older than you that you're like, man, I'm never going to beat, right? But you have to get over that hurdle. And I thankfully got over that hurdle some point in high school and showed up in college and did just fine. And never brought that, you know, never had that mindset, thankfully, turning pro. But there's part of it, it's a mindset. You know, there's a lot of it is just, it's so mental. And everything you do, especially in golf, that it's just, you got to be able to believe in yourself. So you go back to that first question you asked me. I fully believe in myself, but I gotta let go. You know, I gotta stop thinking in my head. I just gotta go and play golf.
Go right here.
Yes, Collin, last week Max Homa was making the suggestion when we were talking to him at the Farmers about the walk and talk. He did the first one. And adding on to your thing, what would you suggest can be make it more interesting, more active, as you say, not just seeing 3 shots? What would you suggest from a playing point of view that you could do and the players should do to make golf more interesting and active and interactive for the spectator?
Well, you first need to see more golf shots. That's like the number one bullet point. How do I make it more interesting? That's a great one. Hit better shots. Stop playing so poorly. No, look, golf's not going to be as high speed, you know, body contact, people tackling, that's just golf, right?
That's for sure.
But I think most fans understand that. And we can't, I'm not going to go dance down the fairway or celebrate differently on a birdie putt on the 6th hole on Friday. But just by seeing birdie putts and seeing more shots, that's going to bring more viewers in because they can actually watch golf, right? So that's already going to make it entertaining of itself. You can't change what golf is. You can't change the aspect of we've got 18 holes, you've got players to start on Thursday, you're going to have 2 waves, all this stuff. You can't change that, right? But you can change the fact of seeing more golf shots, and that's a big part of actually saying, oh, I want to go watch golf, right?
Okay. Yeah. No, I just thought maybe you had another suggestion. Like Max was saying, he thought the walk and talk was a good thing. You know, that it gave an insight to the spectator and an understanding. And,
I mean, they're
brought it closer. You know,
they're
here's the
great.
guy that's talking to us.
They're great, but I'm not going to do one every day. I'm not going to do one every week. It's up to the announcers to ask different questions every single week. You know, I know people want to hear the insights of what we do and what we talk about on a shot in the middle of the fairway or if we're in the rough. But it's not easy every time, you know. If I had someone to watch over what I said every single second and they were to review it and be okay and then I trusted that person, then fine. But it's just a lot is said within 5 hours that is between me and my caddy that not, you know, it's not meant for anyone else, you know, whether it's personal matters or anything, whatever it is.
Oh, no, that's for sure. We're not talking about your private situation.
Yeah.
You know, just if you might have another idea. But thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions? Collin, how neat is it as a Lakers fan? The PGA Tour posted a photo of you and Paul Gasol earlier. How neat is that to be able to play with some of your childhood heroes?
Yeah, he's awesome. I got to meet him a couple years ago, and we had a great time. I had dinner with him last night and asked him if he was going to go play today. So it's just a lot of fun, to see people and other athletes how much they love golf. It's so much fun because they've caught the bug and they want to go and play. And I know he's probably grinding on the range right now and figuring out what to do better for this rest of the week. But it was a lot of fun today. To someone that I've idolized, watched growing up, and just see him out on the golf course and see something new. Yeah, it was fun.
Great. Thanks so much, Collin. Good luck
Thank you.
this week.